Good morning, everyone. Last week, we were talking about sin and how St. Paul viewed sin in his letter to the Romans, not based in terms of ethical and unethical, but rather in terms of freedom and slavery. And today, fifth Sunday of Matthew, the topic seems to be coming back to the same point. The healing of a possessed man in gatherings that raises again the question of freedom. For clarity, let's say that this narrative, that gospel narrative, is more known to us from the Gospel of Luke, and both Luke and Mark refer to one demoniac in gatherings, whereas Matthew mentions two. It is a small detail, and at the end of the day, it does not change the overall story. And as a matter of fact, it is a great proof that the evangelists, when they were writing the Gospels, they were not comparing notes. They were not lining up so that they will be on the same page. Each one said what they remembered, and it so happened that it was stories that they were aligning and pretty much telling the same thing. When these demoniacs, who were saying in today's terms, they were terrorizing the city, and no one dared to go through the way that they were. So these demoniacs, when they saw Jesus, the spirit who possessed them cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" That's a very interesting line. Given that the demon's machination always aims to distract us from working in our salvation, so that our mind will be scattered all over the place, but not where we need to focus. And second, he comes and speaks to us with thoughts how to rebel against God, how to question God's authority. However, when he came before his God and his Lord and Creator, he didn't dare to question his authority. Why have you come here? To torment us before the time? What does that mean? It means that he knows very well what will happen at the end. It means that he knows very well that he will not escape damnation. And because he cannot suffer that, he wants to project the pain into something else, into someone else. This is why he possessed these two people. This is why he comes to tempt us. We should not be afraid to say that, to a certain extent, to possess us even. This is why at the end requested to go to the swine, because giving pain, giving death to the swine, just give a little relief from getting the pain themselves, for all the demons that they were there. So let's remember that. We do have an enemy who himself failed. He doesn't want to walk away from his failure, And because he failed, he does not want anyone to succeed. Because he is miserable and pathetic, he wants everyone to be like him. Because he is slave to his own selfishness, he wants to make us all his slaves. But on the other end, we have Christ. We have Christ who came and liberated us, who gave us freedom, who gave his life so that we will have the freedom to choose either to love him or to reject him. Because he is not just a king, he is a noble king. He doesn't want to have subjects in his kingdom, he wants to have citizens. He wants to have family members, people who will be and dine with him from his table. There is another point also that we learn from that gospel. We see in modern society that often not only Christianity but all religions are more or less questioned. But we will focus on Christianity because that's what we care for. And because nature doesn't like vacuums, empty spaces. People who have rejected Christianity, they look elsewhere for what they call supernatural. And we have an increase of all kinds of, from witchcraft to reviving ancient pagan religions, to going into all these things from occult and magic and all crazy stuff. Not only this, but people who follow this kind of madness, they will speak about the power they have got. Because when you deep into that, you get supernatural powers. That's what they will tell you. But is the devil that powerful to give power to others? Is he? In our church prayers, the prayer that we do before at the Trisagion of a deceased person, and I'm sure you all know that prayer by heart, even though you do not know that you know. And I'm talking to the prayer that says, O God of spirits and of all flesh, you trampled death upon death, and you abolished the power of the devil. The power of the devil is completely abolished, completely annihilated after his resurrection. And today's reading proves that even before the resurrection of Christ, the demons had not power even to possess swine. They needed permission from God. But it's not God that always gives permission. Sometimes, with our freedom, misusing our freedom, we give authority to him. And the devil becomes powerful again. But remember that the devil will become as powerful on us as we allow him to be. Turning back to Christ, he is the one who gives us complete freedom and abolishes any opposing and any evil power. These demoniacs were lucky in a sense that though they were tormented, on their way came Christ and liberated them. How about us? That we are tormented by our own sins, that we are tormented by our own passions. In a sense, we are more pitiful than these people because we think that we are free. we think that we're fine. There is nothing that we need or nothing needs to be done in our spiritual status. Nevertheless, the enemy might try to fight us, but we have the church. We have the Holy Church, and through the sacraments, we receive all the healing power that they received from Christ's hand. One of the best descriptions of the church is that it is the prolonged earthly presence of Christ. If we want to see Christ on earth, we have the church. We are here. And we are free. We are free to take that call to freedom or to reject it. May we all make the right decision, and may the Lord enhance our effort and our determination to be in His path, to follow His example, and to be healed by His hand. Amen.